Alright everyone, welcome to Mrs. Hermsen's photography studio right here in her lovely garage. This is the best we got for now, and I would call this pretty bare bones. And today we're going to do something pretty bare bones. We are going to do a photo shoot of water splashing onto this light bulb. And I'm not going to use any kind of strobe lights. In fact, I'm not going to use anything fancy at all. I had to just lower my garage door so you could actually hear me speak. But because there are yard workers out there, landscapers, not at my house unfortunately, at the neighbor's house, and it's a little bit loud. But right as soon as I'm done video and explaining the introduction, I'm going to raise my garage door, and that's going to be one source of light for me. The other source of light is I bought this kind of fancy dancy ring light. It cost me about $90. I got it on Amazon, and I've used it while I've been doing all my video tutorials. I've used it for all of my Google Meets, and I'm going to use it for my photo projects as well. I'm going to use this as a freestanding light, and it's going to provide a really nice light source. Next thing, I have a bucket of water right here, and I'm going to use that to pour the bucket of water over the light bulb because I'm going to try to catch a splash of water in fast action. I have a roll of paper. All right, it's you can buy this paper. It does cost $40 or $50 a roll. You could use very cheap and inexpensive paper. Normally it lasts a long time, and you can use it as a backdrop regularly. Yeah, you can use it as a backdrop often. Let's just change the word. But in this case, I'm going to be splashing water on it, so I'll probably have to rip that piece off when we're all done. I have a little handy work light just in case I need to shed a little bit of extra light on the light bulb as we do the shoot. Of course, I have my camera right here, and that's about all I'm going to use for this shoot. Now I'm going to take my camera and I'm going to set the settings using a manual mode, and we'll talk about that in a second. So let's get started. Okay, so as I stated, I have now opened my garage door, and you see a little bit more light probably coming into the scene. Now I took this light bulb and I put it in a little bit of a little tape roll. Basically, I needed a little stand for it so it stands up straight. I am losing the bottom of the light bulb, but for sake of example, this is how I'm going to start, because I'm going to pour water on the light bulb, and I know that the light bulb might fall over if I don't have it in a little stand or something. So I put it in this little tape roll and kind of taped it into place. I may have to do some photoshopping later. I'm not sure. In a little while, once my model comes to assist, my assistant is coming. It's a big surprise, but my assistant will come and help after she's done with her work. And we may do another pose using that, but I'm going to use this for now. And here's my camera set up on a tripod because I don't want it to move. And I'm going to start this process from scratch with you so you see exactly how I troubleshoot it. I have no idea what this is going to look like or if I'm going to be able to achieve the look that I want to achieve. But what I know is I'm going to set my camera in a manual mode. I'm going to start with a shutter speed of 1,000. I'm going to put my f-stop to about f8 to begin because that'll give me a wide enough range of depth. The light bulb will be in focus from the foreground of the light bulb to the background of the light bulb. And I'll set my ISO to start at, let's start at 800, okay? All right, so those are going to be my settings, so let's get started. All right, I got my camera set up on my tripod. Camera set to manual mode, all right? Currently, my ISO is at 800. Let me put my glasses on. I'm an old lady. I got to be able to see what I'm doing, so I don't tell you any lies. All right, my ISO is set at 800. My shutter speed is set at 1,000. My f-stop is set at a 6.3, and I now have taken my lens and I'm on the autofocus mode and I'm autofocusing it. All right, but what I'm going to do for the sake of this example, I'm going to take it and put it on the manual focus mode. And the reason I'm doing that is if I'm going to pour water over this light bulb, my lens might try to get the focus point, the right focus point, because it's going to recognize that there's some movement. All right, but I don't want that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a shot. All right, and I'm going to be very honest with you. Let's see here. It's too dark. My shot is too dark. Now, Trick with this project is, because there's going to be water in motion, I have to keep the shutter speed at a high number. I definitely can't go less on the shutter speed. I'm not going to do that. So my options are ISO or f-stop. My f-stop right now is at a 6.3. I originally was going to start at an 8, but I started at a 6.3. I'm going to go to a 5.0. All right, I'm going to go to 5.0 on my f-stop. And I'm going to actually take a look now and see what the result is. And my guess is this is still going to be a little too dark, and I'm correct. So now my option is my ISO. I'm at 800. Oh, I'm going to go to 1250 on my ISO. I'm going to take this shot. And things are actually looking much better, although I'm going to be honest, I wish it was a hair brighter. So I am going to go up on my ISO one more time. I'll go to 1600 on my ISO. Now, if I bring more light into the scene, all right, or if I bring this light a little closer, which I kind of can't do, or if I was in a brighter situation, not in my garage, maybe in an outside situation, I would even have more light. All right, but let me actually take the shot as is. And we're getting much, much closer, and I think that we've got something good going on. Now, remember, you can also edit during the post-editing process. So don't go too high on the ISO, because then you get too much grain in the picture, all right? So I think we're going to stop there, and now we're going to start doing our shoot, our water shoot. FYI, as I'm doing my shoot over here, I find this like funky looking light bulb that we had in our kitchen in our kitchen cabinet over here, and I'm like, oh my god, this is really cool, and this clamp, and I didn't pour water on it yet. I just took a still life, but it's really neat, and I really love the way the picture looks. I know that was a little bit of a side note, but you see, this is how artists get distracted. You got to keep the creative juices flowing. If you know, inspiration leads you somewhere else, then go ahead. You got to take off with it. Now, I'm going to attempt to put water over my over this light bulb, knowing that this clamp is probably going to fall over. I know it probably will, and this is probably not a great decision on my part, but there are a lot of artistic decisions that I make that aren't so terrific, so I think this is just something that we gotta go for, because it's just simply kind of cool. Alright, and now let me take a look. My exposure looks kind of neat. Looks pretty good there. Again, I got a 1600 shutter speed going on, a 4.0 f-stop, which doesn't give me very much depth at all, and an ISO of 2000. I'm going to boost, I think I can boost my ISO down right now. I'm going to go down to 1250. I'm going to keep my shutter speed at the 1600 because I really want that rate of I want to be able to catch that speed in fast action. Keep in mind, that is our objective. So let's see what happens here. Alright, now what I'm doing is I'm trying to connect to my iPhone because I still don't have my assistant down here with me. And in that case, I got to find my Wi-Fi connection here in order to do that. Come on, connect. And okay. I got a pretty cool camera. This is the 5D Mark IV that I'm working with, and it allows me to use a remote capability. I downloaded an app, kind of neat, and then the app allows me to the app allows me to use this remote setting and trigger my camera. Okay? It looks like that. Alright, so let's see what happens here. See how long it takes for my light bulb to fall over. Oh, it's standing. It's standing. Yay, yay, yay. I see something cool happening down here. The water's running down there. But I'm not catching it because I'm too close. Okay, I'm too zoomed in. I'm going to recompose. I'm recomposing. Okay, I am now turning my lens back to the autofocus mode here, because I want to be sure that I'm in have a good focus going on here, nice and sharp. That's my goal. I'm going to go back to the manual on my lens. Alright, and try this again. Whoa, that was a good splash, that last one. Let me go get some more water and I'll be right back with you. Alright, I got something pretty darn good going on here. Alright everybody, just a refresher. I have now transformed my entire little still life. I found this cool clamp. I didn't think that it could actually hold the light bulb up if I poured water over it, but I tried it and it did. I also found a really cool light bulb. I don't know what the heck kind of light bulb these are that my husband buys, but it has little yellow sticks inside of it, and that's really neat. So between the orange and the yellow and my settings, I'm yielding some amazing results. So I'm just using my ring light that I purchased on Amazon for my Google Meet calls. I'm on a shutter speed of 1600. I am currently on an f-stop of 4.0, and I am on an ISO of 1250. And I am using my autofocus in order to focus onto my subject. And then I turn it to manual, because once I pour the water, I don't want the lens to try to find the focus or try to figure the focus out. I don't have an assistant with me, so I happen to download a remote trigger, alright, because I'm able to do that. I'm using the Canon 5D Mark IV. It allows me to download an app called the Canon Connect app, and I'm able to trigger my camera, alright, with use of my phone. That comes in handy because I don't have to be standing behind my camera in order to actually trigger the shot. I'm going to hold this up here. I'm pouring water. I am now shooting. I'm shooting using my remote trigger, and I'm seeing and I'm hopeful that I'm getting something cool. I am making a huge mess. I am going to be in big trouble. My husband is going to be really mad at me later, but I am triggering away. I'm having fun. I am being creative. I am producing some really cool things right now, and it's all going to be worth it, even though he might not talk to me for a day or so. Ooh, that actually might be a plus. That might be another benefit to the entire project. Only kidding. I don't want to cause any rifts in the household. All right, so here we have it, and let's see what our results look like. Alright, things are really progressing nicely. I wish I could show you some of these pictures right now, but when I go and I do my post-editing and put my video together, you'll see them up on the screen. Oh, see, there's one right now. Here it comes. There we go. I just showed you one. So in any event, I got these two light bulbs happening down here. I'm splashing away with my water. Cool results. I really like what I'm seeing here on the page. Things look nice and sharp. Again, I only have this one light. I have this backdrop, which is now getting nice and wet. I have my camera here, a couple of light bulbs, and some water. Simple as that, you guys. No excuses. I'm outside. I'm in my garage. You could be fully outside in the elements and have even more light at your disposal. But this is actually creating a cool little reflection I'm noticing that maybe I'll punch up when I get to the post-editing process. So let me continue onward. And here I go. Here I am pouring my water. I told you before, I am using, my light bulbs are separating, so you know what? I might bring them back a little bit here. I don't know what's, all I know is that I'm getting a pretty cool splash. I am going with the flow, no pun intended. Oh, come on baby, come on, let's see. Come on, bigger splash, making more of a mess. Oh, my water's steaming. And I really hope I got some neat things going. Alright, looking great. This is so much fun. I might actually try a different subject in a little bit, but there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I enjoyed making it for you. I love that you barely have to use any equipment in order to get these really, really neat results. Remember, fast shutter speed is the key. I am at right now 1600 on my shutter speed, 4.0 on my f-stop, 1250 on my ISO. Pretty nice sunny day out. I'm in my garage door is open, and I have this light, this ring light that is as my only light source. So enjoy, have fun, and you know what? Make a big splash out of it. Yeah. All right. Talk to you guys later. I should have just ended right there. I always do this. Now my concluding summary and statement is just not that impactful. But in any event, signing off, it's Mrs. Hermsen. Have a great time today with your tutorial. Alright, it has been a beautiful day in my garage studio. Again, it's Michele Hermsen, and what we're doing is we're using bare bones equipment, a ring light, a backdrop, my camera, this cool little light bulb right here that I found inside my house, along with a clamp. I just dribbled a little water on my camera, not a great idea. Here's another light bulb right here. And a bucket of water. And what I'm trying to do is I am trying to stop fast action as I splash water on top of a light bulb. I'm using a light bulb because it's transparent. It'll look kind of cool that way. But I'm not using any kind of strobe lights or any kind of fancy lights. I do have to know how to use the manual controls on my camera. That is key. This is all about fast shutter speed. In this case, I have a 1600 shutter speed going on. I have an f-stop of 4, relatively narrow range of depth of field. But I needed that lower f-stop so that more light would kind of come into my camera. My ISO currently is at a 1250, and I'm using the light from this ring light. I'm using daylight. It's coming in from my garage door over here. And that is what we are working with to achieve the images that we are going to see in one moment. That's all you need, guys. I have a table. I have a paper backdrop. You could use something much less fancy than a roll of paper. You could use a wall if you wanted. In any event, let's get started. Well, this may be the middle of my presentation actually, because I've just done now a series of light bulb shots. So I'm going to now try this bowl. I turned it over, just a regular old bowl, glass bowl, again, you know, translucent, transparent. And it'll look cool if the water kind of splashes off of it. So that's what I'm going to try next. FYI, although the water is cool, getting water on your camera is not cool. Make sure you wipe it off right away and try not to get it on there at all. Okay? Might ruin your equipment. So guys, it's getting a little warmer out, which is really nice. It's a couple hours since I started, maybe like an hour and a half since I started. I took a lot of breaks. But anyway, you know, this gets really addicting, and something cool just happened. Here I am with only my light bulb. Alright, I have all this water here on my table, and as you might see in some of my shots, I started just pouring water on the table at one point to see if I could catch the splash. Now, I take the light bulb, I put the light bulb on the table, and I just kind of accidentally move my camera to this end of the table. Again, this was sort of accidentally because I was trying to get it and clean up my water a little bit. And I noticed through my viewfinder that I can see the ring light reflected onto the table. And then my light bulb was sort of in the middle of that ring light, showing this illumination around the light bulb because I'm getting this reflection off the water. And I'm like, this is so cool. So then I started shooting the light bulb in the middle of this ring, and you'll see some samples of that. But then I start moving the water like this, just with my fingers around the table, and I'm shooting at the same time, and I'm able to create this ripple effect with the water, but my light bulb is still crystal clear. And then you see the reflection of the ring light, and the image looked really, really neat. So again, this just sort of, I went off on a tangent, this morphed from my whole splashing shoot, and I'm getting some really neat results. So so never quit, keep keep continuing on the path of creativity, and keep exploring different ideas. This is an investigation. Now using this light bulb and this water, and I'm getting some really neat results. So hopefully you do too. And now it's your turn to go and take a try and see if you can create some really cool images as well.